Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams, and I am going to make Picadillo soup. Now, the picadillo is a Cuban dish. I am Cuban, my dad is Cuban, and this is a dish that my abuela made all the time. The picadillo is a dish that she used to make, and we always used to have it with rice and black beans. And so I've converted it to be high protein, low carb, so no rice and no black beans, and I've made it also into a soup. So I have a regular picadillo recipe, and this is my picadillo soup recipe. We are missing 2 ingredients here in Ecuador. One of them we're converting a little bit, the other one we're just missing, which is okay. So it won't take exactly like it normally does, but I'll tell you what it is so you have the full recipe. I'm going to start my water. Oh, not this one. So let's see. I'm gonna start cooking or boiling my water. While my water is starting to boil, I'm going to start to cook my meat. I am using 2 pounds of ground beef. I have 1 onion chopped and 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And I'm going to add a couple of spices here, and then I'm gonna add the rest to the soup. So first I'm gonna break this up. I have probably a little bit more than 2 pounds today. The man who got me the meat at the grocery store said that it was a little bit more, and I said that was fine. So 2 pounds is over the recipe, and I am going to start getting this cooking, although I didn't turn on this burner, so let's turn this one on. All right, there we go. This one is on now, and we're gonna let this cook in its own fat, and then I'm gonna, as it's starting to get cooked, I'm going to add, start adding stuff to the water for the soup. Now my girls don't like soup, so they just eat the same thing, but I take out the broth for their portion. But I love soup. And let me see if I can, I'm trying to get this mixed well with the onion, but I might just have to wait till it starts to cook. All right, so while I'm waiting for that to start to cook, tell me where you're watching from. Thumbs up, hearts, share this video. More people need to know that they can eat high protein, low carb wherever they are, and it's amazing flavor and deliciousness. And this is a Cuban dish. My abuela was an amazing cook, and she did not cook by recipes, she cooked by taste. So before she passed away, at some point before she passed away, we asked her to help us measure so that we could have this in recipe form, and she did. And so it's actually very high protein, low carb, apart from the rice and beans. So I have 4 cups of water boiling, and also I forgot to add, I am having, these are the green Spanish olives that are diced up, 1/3 of a cup. I often like to put just a little bit more just because they add a really nice flavor. And I don't like green olives normally, apart from picadillo. I don't really like green olives. Maybe in like a certain salad, I like them, but normally I don't love green olives. So if you don't love green olives, you can leave them out, but you might actually like them in this dish. All right, so I want to mix this around and not throw it everywhere. So you want to use as big of a frying pan as you can so it's a little bit easier to mix. Okay, now while that is cooking, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of avocado oil to my water. 1 tablespoon of avocado oil. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of, this is what I don't have. This is regular vinegar. Normally you're gonna wanna use red wine vinegar.
Guys, tell me if you like olives. I don't.
Soraya likes them in this dish, but she doesn't like them either. I think so. There's 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Best is red wine vinegar. That's the original recipe. And then now we're going to add what I don't have, which is 2 tablespoons of Worcester sauce. Now Worcester sauce does have some sugar in it, but not enough that it's gonna do a whole lot of harm because it's in such a big quantity. Like the portion that each person has of it is very small, but it is a big part of the flavor. So 2 tablespoons of Worcester sauce. Hi Mary, hello, hello. Tell me who has tried Picadillo. If you've tried Picadillo, put Picadillo, tried it in the comments. If you've never tried Picadillo, put never tried it in the comments or never in the comments. I would love to know who has had Cuban Picadillo before and who is not. All right, now while my water is still coming to a boil, I'm gonna add things to it that's gonna slow the boil, but that's okay. I am going, actually before I do that, I'm gonna add a couple of things to my meat. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of pink salt. We bought pink salt today in the supermarket that was 80 cents for this huge quantity. So amazing. Okay, 2 teaspoons of pink salt and 2 teaspoons of black pepper. I want my meat to cook with these. And then we're gonna add some more spices to the whole soup itself. And a couple more ingredients, well, some ingredients and some spices. So I'm gonna mix this first so I can be cooking with it. And then we'll be able to eat it. I'm not eat it, we'll be able to continue cooking it. All right, so while this is continuing to cook, we are going to, I'm just gonna do that. We're going to add our vegetables to the water. So we're using 2 wonderful, Mary, you've never had it. Hey, Tonya. Picadillo, we're making Picadillo soup. Here are green peppers. I have 2 green peppers, and my recipe is for 12 ounces of cauliflower rice. I don't have cauliflower rice here, and I did not shred any, shred cauliflower rice or cauliflower, but I did use like a small head of cauliflower. So 12 ounces of cauliflower rice or just small florets of cauliflower. And I'm going to lightly put these in here so that they don't splash. And these are our veggies for outside of the onions. So I think, Mary, you're gonna love Picadillo soup. All right, now I can put them all in. I'm gonna let that start to boil, and I'm gonna mix this. I'm gonna add then some spices and one more thing to the water. And then once this meat is browned, we can add it to the soup. So this again is 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 onion chopped, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I used 3 really big cloves of garlic. They were really big. Normally I would use 4 maybe. And what else do I have in here? 1/3 cup, a little bit more than 1/3 of a cup of chopped green olives. Like the Spanish olives, I just got the regular green olives, but normally my abuela would buy the Spanish olives that have the like pimientos inside, the red things inside. Okay, now we're going to add to here 8 ounces of tomato sauce. 8 ounces of tomato sauce. The tomato sauce here is in this little bag. But at home I would get like tomato, if I can, tomato sauce without salt. Okay. 8 ounces of tomato sauce. And we're going to add 1 more teaspoon of pink salt into the soup. And then a few more spices. That's not quite. All right. Now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of oregano, dry oregano. It's like half, I think. And 2 teaspoons of paprika. And we are almost done. Well, almost done to letting it just sit. I think that was more like a teaspoon. Okay. Now we just get to let it boil with those spices. And I think that I have used everything that I needed to. So now it is a matter of just letting it cook. I'm gonna stir my meat. I think it's probably ready for me to pour into the soup. And then I'm gonna bring the soup to a boil and I'm gonna let it cook until the cauliflower is soft. So another like 15 minutes boiling. All right, so I'm gonna slowly, maybe I'll use this, add this over here. Thank you, Mary. Definitely let me know if you try it. So for me, the cauliflower rice replaces the white rice and nothing replaces the black beans, but it still tastes really good. The black beans were always cooked separate from the picadillo. Right, let me turn this one off. Almost there. All right, I might be able to help this in with the pan itself. I'm gonna mix this, stir this all around in here. You definitely need a big soup pot. This was a good size. I was gonna do a smaller one and I'm glad that I did not because it would not have fit. All right, so I'm gonna pour this in and I'm gonna show you the soup right after. I'm gonna keep all that nice, yummy grease from the ground beef into the soup. Okay. So tell me again where you're watching from if you're just joining us. Make sure you like, share, and heart this video. And this is my abuela's picadillo made into, which is a Cuban dish made into a soup. All right, let me show you this soup. Let me mix it really quick. So normally I would use cauliflower rice in place of the white rice, and I'm using cauliflower small florets that I've broken up tonight. Here it is. Here is all this. So it's gonna, I definitely want to get my cauliflower soft. So it's gonna take at least 15 minutes, I think, of boiling it. And it's not yet boiling. Let's see if I can raise the heat a little bit. All right, so that's it. Definitely give this a try and let me know what you think. From my house to your kitchen, global flavors. We're in Baños, Ecuador, and healthy plates from around the world. Bye.